Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to do a new unboxing build video. This will be the Realacc Real1 frame. I wanted a secondary quad, so I have a spare one out on the field, and I will use an updated hardware on it, like the F4. I looked for a frame for about a week, and then I came across this frame on the new items in Banggood. What really caught my eyes is that it has vertical arms on it. Unlike most of the frames that I saw that has horizontal arms, you probably know that a quadcopter is really not an aerodynamic craft. It has a lot of drag, but with vertical arms you probably get few percentage more of less drag on the arms, under the props, and on the center. With this particular frame has smaller center, so I figured it will be nice, kind of different kind of setup for me, and it will be nice to build. So I went ahead and ordered it. After snooping around a bit on YouTube, I saw that this frame is actually a replica. The original frame, it's called the Talon. I'm not going to get to the whole idea of replicating. I will say that probably most of the companies do it, like Samsung copies Apple, and Xiaomi copies all the rest. A lot of the companies do it. Make no doubt about it. If you have enough budget, go ahead and buy the original one. It will have better carbon, better aluminum, better quality test, and you will support the designer of the frame. So go ahead and buy the original. I'll put link below for it. If your budget does not allow you to buy the original, and you won't buy it anyway, and you want a less pricey frame, you can go ahead and buy this one. Hopefully it will be good enough for you. So that being said, let's start. First of all, let's see what came in the box. The first time I open it, so you have these blue aluminum parts. There is more colors for this frame. I wanted to go blue. As you can see, the screws messed around. This is all the carbon parts. You get strap, and you get a lot of screws. Seems like the bag of the screws got open, the delivery, all the screws. So that's it. You get the instruction on how to build it, and you get screws, carbon parts, aluminum, and the strap. So let's open the box. The carbon parts, very nice. So let's look at them. As you can see, it's really sharp edges. Probably the difference between a replica and the original probably will come with less sharp edges. I'm going to sand the edges. Sanding carbon, it's really dangerous, so do it only if you know what you're doing. You will need to do it underwater with a mask on gloves. Okay, so only if you know what you're doing, do it. So you have 4 arms, identical. Hopefully Banggood will get spare parts for it, spare arms. You have this is for reinforcement of the arm. Not sure if I'm going to use it. Then you have the actual center frame, bottom upper plate. And you have all these nice aluminum parts closely. You can see here. Very nice. And you have all the screws. Okay, I'm going to do some sanding to the carbon parts, and I'm going to come back and start building the frame. Finished sanding all the carbon parts. Not a perfect job, but will do the trick of getting the edges less sharp. Before I start with the build, I'm going to measure all the parts for you. So first of all, you can see these 4mm arms. The reinforcement is about 2.5mm, and all the rest of the parts of the frame is 2mm. Okay, that's one. Sides the same, the lower plate the same. So this is 2, 2.5, and 4. It's about 55 grams. It's about 32. At 28 grams. Side. For the aluminum, it's about 3mm. These parts, this my guess is about 5. The screw is 3, and the rest of the parts, again 3mm. So before I start, we'll set up all the screws. Get this tape on the side, all the plastic stands. So hopefully I didn't lose any screws in the shipment. You have 4mm, 6, 8, 10, and 2 small ones. You have the stands, and you have 4 nuts. So we'll build it by the guide. First step, just get all the arms, get it set up. Motor stand, it has screwing on it. Okay, thread inside aluminium, and you get 3x10. If you get, this is aluminum part and metal screws, you must use Loctite. Okay, if you didn't use Loctite or lock thread, it will come out. So just a tiny bit. And less. Inside. And that's 2mm screw, okay? That's it, no need to tighten too hard. You have your Loctite, it will hold it in place. So 1. That's all 4. So we're going to step 2. That part here has thread in it. This one doesn't. So the screw will come from this part, on that side. All of them are 10mm. So again, Loctite. Don't tighten the screws all the way. Recommend do it in the end. As you can see, you need to set up it correctly. the center part goes. Okay, as you can see, made a mistake. Open the screw. First, put the bottom part inside, then tighten the screw. After finishing building step 2, all the arms, go ahead and tighten all the screws. Again, don't need to do it too much, don't hurt the screw. You have your Loctite. Finished with part 2, as you can see. You have the reinforcement. The next part is to put the reinforcement in, but to put it in you will need to put the motors, because the screws, as you can see, it comes inside here. The screws go form underneath the carbon and go directly inside the motor, so we don't have the motor, this will just fall off. So I'm not sure if I'm going to use it anyhow. The frame looks pretty strong. If I will have a spare arms, if Banggood will provide spare arms, surely I'm not going to use the reinforcement, just because it's not really nice. So for now we'll skip this part and we'll go to step 4. So this is the last part. You will need these two parts. You can see the marking for the camera goes on the outside, so it will go partially that way. So what we'll need to do, according to the drawing, put these two parts. You need not sure how it goes. Okay, so take 3x4, so this is the small screws right here, very short ones. Sorry, very short. I recommend putting some longer screws. I have the 3x8 that I didn't use for the reinforcement, so I'm going to use them again, just a tiny bit. Here this part, put it the back, that's where the antenna goes. That's the top part. Again, I decided to use longer screws than provided before, just because if you want to add camera, just to open it a bit and not to take all the part, this part aside, so you get a longer screw, just unscrew it just a bit, put the camera in, so it will be better. So we take for the mounting, take these blue threaded parts, seems like, put it inside here. Okay, so it goes inside the carbon and inside the aluminum, just a sec. That's it. So if you can see here, the part goes inside the carbon in the aluminum. So if you take only 2 screws, you have this movement that you can fix your board or mount your board. So the screw needed here is 3x6. So that screw here. So I decided not to put Loctite in these screws for the reason that these screws are going to open a lot for maintaining the quad. I'd rather lose a screw than get screws stuck inside. So this one I will tighten a bit more, because you don't really have any way to hold this part to get the screw out. So I'd rather it getting loose on its own, not getting stuck inside. So I guess that's it. Frame is done. Look. Yeah, the frame is ready, so I guess this nut right here is only to hold the reinforcement when you don't have the motor set up yet. You can put the nut here and put a screw inside. Don't need it. The extra screws is for the motors. When you use it, you have two small screws for the camera. That's 2mm, usually used for the camera. You have all these mounts. You have a bit of a spare screws here, so you get probably all that you need. Let's weight the frame. That's 91 grams total, again without any screws. If I use the reinforcement, about 99. If I add the strap, that's about 103 grams. The frame without any electronics on it and without any screws for the motor, etc. So the frame is done. I really like it. It was a very nice build, very easy, very short. Probably gonna change the screw here, maybe to a bit longer. It has enough room here to get more inside. You can get the 10 is really only getting to this part of the aluminum. You can get a 12 maybe or 14 screw here. You don't have to do it, but I have, as you can see. Next I'm gonna add all the electronics inside, take it for some runs, some flying around. Very nice. I really recommend it. Again, if your budget allows you, go ahead and get the original one. If it doesn't, you can get this one. It's very nice. You don't have to sand the edges. Just me wanted to be a bit more nice to hold it. So that's it, guys. Hope this helps you. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I see you guys next time.